And that is it, full-time. Newcastle 3, Manchester City 3. An absolute cracker of a game. Honestly, one of the games of the season. A major upset. And a lot of people say, looking at it, yes, it was a huge upset, but it could have been even worse. Newcastle quite easily could have won that, but Man City showed character to get back into this. But before we do dive in and analyse this absolute corker of a game, please do smash the like button and do subscribe. It helps more than you can imagine. We are trying to hit 2,650 subscribers as soon as possible. But where do I start? What a performance. What a game. It started off, Man City came out of it all guns blazing and they scored within 5 minutes. A wonder goal, a beautiful assist coming from Bernardo Silva where he took on Dan Burn. And that was an interesting matchup that I thought throughout this game there'd be a goals coming from that side because, to be honest, Dan Burn, he's a great centre back, but I personally don't think he's mobile enough to play on that left hand side, especially against a player like Bernardo Silva, somebody agile who's going to drive at him constantly, come inside, go down the outside. And it came from him using his left foot when really you should know he will always go towards his left. And I know it's really difficult. It reminds me a bit of Iron Robin, where you can't work out, you can't stop him from cutting onto left, but he did. And it was a great goal, that first goal. And you thought, okay, looks like it's going to be an absolute masterclass from Man City and going to be goals galore because Gundogan brought the ball down in the opposition's penalty area. You shouldn't be able to do that. And what a goal it was. But then Newcastle just came back and it all came through St. Maximin. And I did a live stream and spoke about St. Maximin. I thought St. Maximin was by far the best player on the pitch today. Absolutely unreal. A sensational performance, constantly driving at players. And when we say he's a bit of a Marmite player, some people personally don't think he's good enough. I've always said I love him and I get a lot of stick online for my opinions on him because I just think he's a great player. Just cannot cope with him. Kyle Walker was awful tonight. And it was just purely because St. Maximin constantly driving at him. St. Maximin just drive at him. And 1 minute he goes down the left, and then he cuts down on the right. He got 2 assists. For the first goal, it was him going towards the byline and then whipping a cross in, cutting back in, and then whipping that cross in. Whereas the second goal, it came from him driving down the centre. And then for the third goal, it came in when he cut back inside. Every goal came through St. Maximin. Everything that was good about Newcastle came through St. Maximin. And they quite clearly targeted John Stones and Kyle Walker. To be honest, I completely agree. They were probably the weakest out of those defenders. And that's all they did. He was constantly driving non-stop. And it was ridiculous when you actually look at it. The amount of dribbles that he lost the ball 15 times. But you've got to think about what he's doing. And a lot of players say, oh, that's why they don't like him because he gives away the ball so much. But he's got to take these risks to get in these chances, and Kyle Walker had a real shocker against him, same as John Stones. To be honest, I thought Man City looked very vulnerable, and it's quite worrying for them because you saw a side didn't sit back, and that's what we see with a lot of sides who play against Man City. You sit in deep and try and compress the space, which Newcastle pressed, and they were relentless with that press. And I think what hurted them in that second half is because they didn't have the energy. Around 60 minutes, they kind of just switched off a bit, and there's a lot to analyse with that. Callum Wilson, I thought, was great. I thought Joe Linton was great. I thought Kieran Trippier was great. Almiron was okay. Yes, he got a goal, but other than that, I don't think he really offered much. The only player out of the Man City team that I think played well was Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne. I think Haaland had moments of brilliance, but overall, I just think Man City just looked off it. They just weren't up to the standards that they should have been. They've struggled at many parts throughout the game where they just didn't look up to it. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know whether it's they did look a little bit leggy, especially Cancelo, I thought, in that game. I thought Gundogan as well, by the way, was great. And what I spoke about before is when Man City play with these inverted fullbacks, whenever they get the ball, Kyle Walker comes in towards the centre. João Cancelo does the same. And it works because it allows Gundogan and De Bruyne to move on forward. And we saw Gundogan in some positions at some points where he was basically playing as a number 9 and he was creating space for players. He was creating problems for Newcastle. But then I thought that was also the downfall of them because then it allowed Joe Linton, St. Maximin, Willock, Almiron to burst on forward. And there was loads of spaces down the side. So I think that was a real problem for them in this game. I thought Guimaraes was really good in that middle. Him and Rodri were having a really good battle throughout the game. I thought it was really good. I thought Willock had an okay game, actually, a player that in the past I've never really thought he was good enough. I thought he was really good today. And I thought the Newcastle back four played well. I thought Dan Burn was the only one I think really struggled in this game. He just could not cope with Bernardo Silva. And I just thought it was a really odd matchup. When you look at it tactically, it didn't really make sense. Your most agile player on that City side, probably one of the best dribblers in football in the world, put against the 6'6" centre-back. You just think, why on earth would that happen? Botman played well. Shah played well. Kim Trippier played well. But Nick Pope kept Newcastle in this game at points. Haaland had a couple of one-on-ones. He made a lot of saves. Really good performance from him. He collected crosses. He made 7 saves, 1 punch in this game. It was really brave, demanding constantly, because you'll look at the stats throughout this game and you'll look, Man City, 70% possession, 21 shots and 10 on target. But I think that's quite misleading. I think Newcastle at points really did well. First half, possession-wise, 33%. And the second half, obviously, Man City dominated the possession more so than anything. But these shots, I don't think Man City ever really looked like they were going to score. There weren't really many chances. Whereas Newcastle, I thought, had a lot of chances, really. Callum Wilson could have had a couple of goals. Almiron could have had a couple of goals. But then again, I say that Haaland could have had a hat trick. So really, I don't know what it is. I think I was just really disappointed with this Man City performance. I think I expected more from them. I think Man City will expect more from themselves. And I think Pep will have expected more because they got off such to a flying start. But the fact that they got a draw here just shows the mentality of this side. They are winners. And when I say they're winners, they've come back here when no one really expected them to. They were 3-1 down. The pressure was against them. Within 4 minutes, 2 goals. And that is the amazing thing with Man City. They can just flick of a switch, a click of your fingers, they're back in a game. It's a huge point because for the table, I know it's early and I know we say this already, but Man City goes second now, Arsenal top, Newcastle goes sixth, but it keeps that gap between Liverpool and Man City. 5-point gap, obviously, Liverpool with a game in hand. Obviously not ideal, but it is very early on in the season. I worry because Ake went off injured very early on. I hope he's okay. There's another topic I want to discuss. The Kieran Trippier red card that was then rescinded for a yellow. I personally think it's a red card, and I know I'm probably in the minority, but this is something I've spoken about before on this channel. How on earth people say it's a tactical or a professional foul? How is it a professional foul when you hack a player down, then he caught his knee, so a knee-high challenge when a player is sprinting? It's not safe, it's violent, and there's no attempt for the ball. So please explain that to me. If I explain that to you as a challenge, knee high, no attempt for the ball, and it's at speed. That's violent. That's foul play. But for some reason, it's a tactical foul. It's a professional foul, and we've rescinded it. I think that should have been a red card, and I think that really has affected the game. I don't know whether Man City fans will agree with me. Newcastle fans will agree with me. People probably say the game's gone soft, but personally, I think that is a foul. Newcastle, I feel like they'll be annoyed at themselves for the way they let themselves concede those 2 goals. I think 2 goals came from they just lacking judgment and lacking concentration. Like Dan Burn didn't follow his man for that final goal, and then the other goal, players weren't sticking to the man. You can't leave Haaland free 3 yards out. But overall, Newcastle should be happy with themselves, but I just feel like they could have and probably should have won that game if they just hadn't switched off for minutes like they did. But that's the thing, you can't switch off against Man City. They will hunt you. And there's also another way you can look at it in a great performance from Man City. So the players I'm going to single out for my man of the matches, probably Maximin, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Trippier, Callum Wilson, and Nick Pope. The top 2 are going to be St. Maximin and Pope for Newcastle, and for Man City, De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva, in my opinion, just because I think that final assist, by the way, from De Bruyne is just a thing of beauty. As much as I say Dan Burn switch off, it's just a great and beautiful pass, isn't it? I love watching De Bruyne. But overall, Man City slip up and a huge Newcastle draw. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comment section down below. Please let me know, because I'm always interested to see what you guys think. Whether you're a Newcastle fan, you're a Man City fan, let me know. And also give me an opinion on that Trippier foul. Was it a red? Was it not? I think it was a red. But as I said, let me know. Thank you for watching, though. BucketHatSam over and out. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.